Hey yogis, welcome. Let's start at the top of the mat today. Feet hips distance apart. Just get established firmly through heels, hugging in at the abdominal wall. You can lift the glutes a little bit. Lift through crown, draw the shoulders back. Just take some time to connect to breath. Let's get all the way empty, finding the belly lock. It draws backward. Keep some firmness at your root and belly as you sweep your arms out wide and overhead. Tip over to the right. Press down through heels, lift on the root. Through center, reaching up. And then exhale, tip to the left. Again, lift on the low spine from the root. Next inhale, come all the way up, reach up. Open the arms wide. Take a little arch in the spine. Seat draws back as the heart slowly, slowly lowers. With control here. Keeping back bend as long as you can. And then releasing. Let the arms dangle. Knees can soften. We'll even shake the head, yes. And get loose right there at the neck. Come on to fingertips. You'll straighten through the right leg quite a lot. And then switch, straighten through the left leg quite a lot. Straighten through both legs as much as you can. Tip the sits bones high. Then exhale, fold back down again. Take hold of your elbows. We'll give this one a little more time. It's for the legs, but it's also about the spine. So picture space being made between your vertebrae. All of them. Feel free to invite a little swaying. And then inhale the fingertips again. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat. And send your left hand a little wide, and we'll sweep the right arm up toward the sky. Make a nice straight arrow. Look up. And then exhale, hands come frame this foot. Inhaling to plank position. Set up firmly, take an inhale again. And then exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Inhale, send the heart forward and up. Shoulders drawing down. Let's bring this to child's pose. Hips to heels, reach the arms forward. Come to the pinky side of your arms and get a stretch there. A few breaths. Wave up into cat shape. Empty out, tucking tail and chin. Inhale, arch for cow. Exhale, roll over toes. Find your way to downward facing dog. Take your time. Find your comfort. Make the heels heavy, spread the fingers firmly, and sweep the right leg out behind, nice and straight. Okay, roll this knee forward, place the foot between your hands. Pause there, reach the legs away from each other, lighten through the heart, gaze forward. Then step to the top, flatten the back. Exhale, fold down. Get really empty. Inhaling to flat back. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat. Walk the right fingers to the right a little bit so you can lean your heart away. Sweep the left arm up toward the sky. Make an arrow. Gaze up. Exhale, both hands come close to the foot. Take an inhale to plank position. Firm everywhere. Exhale, lower. Could be chaturanga now or the belly again. Open the heart somehow, some way. Can even linger. Exhaling through to downward facing dog. Always making this yours. Might mean bending the knees or swaying the hips side to side. Really just take it as your opportunity to break apart some of the collected fascia in and around your hips, your legs, wherever you're feeling it. Sides of the body, waist, back. Keeping the neck relaxed. If that's not comfortable, bring it in line with your arms. Sweep the left leg out behind, long and firm. And knee rolls forward. Place the foot between your hands. Reach the legs away from each other. Lift your heart. And step to the top, flat back. Fold forward. Root down, rise high. Palms touch above you. Exhale, Tadasana. Let's take a sun A. Inhale, reaching upward. Exhale to dive down. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, step or leap your way to lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog, shoulders back. Exhaling, downward facing dog. 5 long breaths. Come on to tippy toes. You can even zip the feet up toward each other. Bend your knees quite a lot, and you're going to try to hit your hips on the ceiling. It'll be on an exhale. So an inhale first, gazing forward. Exhale, leap high. Feet between your hands, lengthen spine. Fold forward. Root down, rise high. Exhaling, Tadasana. Let's get one more sun A. Inhale, sweep up. Build in heat. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or leap to lower. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Rhythmic breathing. The work is distributed everywhere. You still feel the abdominal wall drawing back. Light squeezing between the arms. Same thing again. Bring the toes toward each other. And inhale first, and exhale, you'll spring. Hips up toward the ceiling, feet land between your hands. Go ahead, your timing. Lengthen and fold. Root and rise. Put a bend right in the knees. Sweeping arms up, Utkatasana. Squeeze into center line. That's where most of the work is. In, squeezing it up. And exhale, hinge forward. Inhale to flat. Exhale, building a flow. Step the left foot to the back of the mat, just as we did. Left fingers slide to the left. On an inhale, you'll reach this right arm up as you look up. On the exhale, right fingers to the ground outside the foot, back heel down, sweep the left arm across, find side angle. Let's pause to breathe and make long lines. Tucking this right hip powerfully under your body. If you want to work a little harder, keep this left arm reaching forward, and you're going to reach the right arm back behind your body, so they point in opposite directions. Go for it. 3 long breaths, squeezing feet toward each other. 1 more breath. Come on up, make peaceful warrior. I'm going to keep breathing in it, find what we can find from it. Big lift on the root, all the way up through the heart. And last few breaths, like you're holding a globe behind you. Sounding breath. And roll the hands down, but walk them way over to the left. You're going to straighten both legs for a second, then point the toes out about 45 degrees. We'll create our skandhasanas, like a half squat on each side. So the left knee bends, we'll keep that knee tracking wide. And then press the heel down, connect to the glute as you come over onto the right side. Same thing, knee shifts wide. Okay, if it starts to knock in, try to maybe back off a little bit. Heel down, come into the glute, other side. Just aiming to feel the engagement as we do these ones. Other side. And 1 more visit with each side. Knee wide, feel the glute. And then pivot all the way around. You're going to keep this right arm in front of the right shin. Let the knee track forward of the ankle. And step that left foot in about 6 inches, maybe a little bit more. It's going to be an arm balance. It's going to be, we kind of did this several weeks ago, but it's like a one-legged crow variation. It's a little bit easier than one-legged crow. So take this right arm in front of the shin, and the elbow is wide of the right shin. Plant your hand next to the right foot, and both hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to send the heart way forward. Get that back foot in enough so that your hips feel like they're nice and high. And then you'll bend this right knee enough to bring the heel back, send the heart forward, keep the hips high, and maybe you find you can lift that left leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step the right foot down and the left knee down. Sweep the right leg all the way behind. Find your flow. I'm going to cue chin stands today if you want them. You might need to shorten your stance a little bit. Send the heart forward. Chin comes down as that right leg lifts up. All the way through an open heart. And downward facing dog. Let's connect to breathing. Walk the feet in just a few inches closer. Zip the toes toward each other. Come up onto toes. Take an inhale. And then on an exhale, you're going to spring forward. Hips go. Try to touch the ceiling. Ready for it? Go. Flatten the back. And bow. Flat back again. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Right hand goes a little wide. Let's peel this left arm up. Gaze comes along with it. Long inhalation. And then exhale, left fingers touch the ground outside the foot. Back heel down, right arm across your ear line, side angle. And be tucking left hip under the body. Make the whole hip work. Full length in your breathing. If you want the heat and core work, we're going to hover the bottom palm parallel to the top. Just 3 long breaths, squeezing feet toward each other. Go for it if you like. One more breath. Come on up, make peace. You can even try to squeeze this seat and see if that can contribute to Mula Bandha, the root, lifting the heart too. Hug the belly in. Last 3 breaths if you want it, like you're holding the globe behind you. Sounding breaths. Last one. Roll the hands down. Walk them over to the right. Straighten the legs briefly. You can open the legs or the feet to 45 degrees. And we're going to bend over by this right leg. Point the left toes up. This time, if you want to go a little deeper, you can. You can even take your hands to heart. Still make sure that right knee is wide. And then hands stay at your heart if you can do it. Come all the way to the other side. And the other side. 2 more visits, left and right. One more. And then come all the way over to the left. Let's pivot around. Take this left arm out in front of the shin. The elbow goes wide. It's like you've just tucked your knee into your own armpit and you're actually squeezing your arm in to make this work. Hands underneath the shoulders, back foot steps in. Keep the hips high. Start sending the heart forward, the elbows in and back. You can bend that left knee, point the heel up. Get your hips up super high. Maybe you can even drag this right foot up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the back foot down, front foot down, and sweep the left leg high behind. You can take your chin stand or your vinyasa. Meeting, downward facing dog. Connect to breath. Zip the feet together. Take them a little closer to hands. Come high onto toes. Bend the knees. Hips hit the ceiling if you can. Lengthen. Take a fold. Bend the knees. Find Utkatasana. Squeeze into center. Reaching up. And stand tall. Tadasana. Slide hands to your waist. Step feet hips distance apart. We'll draw the elbows back as we lift the chest up. And hinge all the way. Take a forward fold. You can even wrap your arms around your legs. I'm trying to go deep. Shifting some weight toward the toes. Let's get long in the spine. Come to fingertips. Exhale, hands to the waist. Elbows point up. Keep a little back bend as you stand all the way up. Offer your heart upward. And take neutral spine. Release the arms. Keeping feet hips distance apart, we're going to do just a little bit of a balance sequence, so sense of humor is totally welcome. Shifting weight to the right. You're going to lift the left knee, sweep your arms up. Extend the left leg. And then no sooner do you do that, then you bend it. Send the knee wide. You're going to come down to figure four. Left ankle crosses the right thigh. Let's take hands down through your heart and lower. This is an excellent place to stay and work the hip opening, but if you're feeling like arm balances are your thing today, then let's come into a Galavasana or Galavasana setup, and that is flying pigeon. So you brace this, your upper arms, you brace your shin bone on your upper arms, flex that left foot like crazy, send the heart forward, bend the right knee, and see if you can lift the right leg. You might have to scoop that right leg back behind you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come back in. We're going to lift back up to our balance. Left knee comes up, arms reach up, leg extends. Here's the part where we might need humor. You're going to reach your arms forward as though you're going to touch your foot. You may or may not as you bend forward. And then tip the left leg behind you, bend the right knee. Let's come back to this lunge we had. Left fingers wide to the side, right arm reaches to the sky. This time we get to pause and savor the breathing. And roll the right hand down to match the left hand. Set the back heel down. This time, we'll come back right into that Skandasana shape. So the right toes are pointing off to the side a little bit. Hands to heart, open your chest. If you'd like the bind, take a bind. Right arm wraps in front of the shin, left arm wraps behind you. If you're very flexible, get the wrist or even the forearm. You're working towards straightening that left arm. If you're nowhere near it, who cares? We work where we're working. Find the breath. Unwind it. Take your hands down. You're going to straighten both legs. This time parallel the feet, lengthen spine. And take our wide-legged fold. If you can, walk your torso through your legs. Go ahead. Come on to flat back. I want to invite you into an inversion. Of course, you can take anything that you would like to, including skipping the inversion and working on the hamstring opening instead, or working on a crow pose. But I'm going to invite you into a forearm stand press. We've done this a few times before. And then even if you cannot press it, or even if you can't even come close to it, I'm going to encourage you just to try it anyway. Be at that threshold place where you know that strength is being built. Come down to forearms, spread the fingers wide. It's okay if the hands drift toward each other. Your work is to press the elbows, the forearms down into the ground like crazy and come high onto tippy toes, rocking forward. You'll need to use the hands to push the ground away. Do it a few times. Rock forward. You want to think compression. The thighs squeeze into the belly. That's a lot of hip flexor strength. Trying to guide the hips forward and up. At a certain point, the hips come so far forward that you shift the center of gravity and you get upside down. All right. If you find forearm stand, 5 breaths. You can always pause and take one to the wall. And come down, ideally with as much control as we came up. Flat back. And we'll pivot around to frame the right foot. Let's get a little into the legs, so set the left knee down. Okay, continue to face forward, but bend that left leg and reach back with the left hand to grab the foot. Keep sinking the hips forward. Allow this left quad set to open. Let's release it, straighten through the right leg. We'll flex that foot and find a fold. Gaze forward, soften the right knee. We're going to tuck the back toes and then sweep the right leg up behind. You'll stack the hip this time. Bend your knee, point that knee as high as it'll go. Just use that right upper outer hip to get the knee up. You can take a peek up and over that left arm to try to see your foot. And then maybe you'll flip this over, find a wild thing. If you're feeling very open today, you might turn your wild thing into wheel, but don't stress it. It's so not worth doing it if the body doesn't want it. Let's flip it back over. Keep sweeping the right leg up behind, and you'll take your vinyasa flow any way you'd like to go. I'll do another chin stand, this time bending the knees, reaching for a scorpion type of shape. And downward facing. Connect. Come on to toes. Zip the feet toward each other. Same thing. You can even walk in a little bit closer. The idea is to just think about your hips getting super, super high. So the height is what matters, not the forward momentum. Take your time. Go ahead. Flatten the back. Fold forward. Bend knees again. Find chair. Squeeze into center powerfully. And stand tall, release. Take your feet to hips distance apart. You're going to find that balance sequence once again. The hands can start on the waist. We'll shift weight to the left side. Lift the right knee up. Reach your arms up. Extend the right leg. Then rebend it. Send the knee wide so you can find figure four. Lower down, ankle across the left thigh. Hands come to heart. This is an awesome place to stay and work on your hip opening. If you're feeling flying pigeon though, you can take your hands out front. Stack your shin bone on your upper arms, flex that right foot. Heart goes forward, hips stay high. See how high you can get that left leg. And come slowly down. Stand up with it again. Right knee comes all the way up. Reach up, extend the leg. And then reach forward like you could touch that left or right foot. And take it slowly back, left knee bends as you step down. Hands touch the ground. Right hand works off to the right, left arm lifts up toward the sky. You can invite the back bend in the upper heart now. And we'll stay to breathe. Strong legs. And we'll turn this into Skandasana, so hands come down, back heel grounds, left toes kind of come in a little bit to accommodate. The right toes point up, hands to heart. Open the chest, gaze up behind you. And if you're looking for that bind, go find it. We'll unwind, plant the hands, straighten both legs, we'll parallel the feet. Flat back, open the arms out wide, and then you can interlace fingers low behind. Fold forward for the rotator cuffs. Come on back to flat back and fingertips. Okay, opt for whatever you'd like to work on, but I'm going to invite you into a forearm stand. So either, any forearm stand, the forearm stand straddle press practice. If that wasn't working, but maybe was almost working, you could do the puppy press. So you take your feet closer together. It's all right if you have to walk them back. You just get them as close as you can in. One knee lifts. That knee lifts so you can drag your hips forward and then lift the other leg. So that's what that one looks like. Slightly more accessible than straddle. One final option is to keep the feet together. We'll work on pike pressing a forearm stand and maybe just see what it feels like today. Think hips high and forward. A lot of compression. Can we lower as slowly as we came up? Let's return to wide legs. Stangle and fold a little bit, let the arms recover. Come on into flat back and we'll pivot around to face the front. We'll get into the legs. Set the back knee down. If you want more for that back hip flexor in the quads, you'll bend the knee, reach back with the right hand today. And pull in slowly. This keeps your hips square and gets nicely centered right on the quads. A slow release for it. We'll straighten this left leg, flex that foot, and bow. Come back to flat back, rebend the left knee, tuck back toes. And sweep the left leg behind. But you open the hip. And point the knee high. I'm bending it. Use the back of the leg to get the knee open. And gaze up and over that right arm to try to see your foot. Flipping it over if you wish to, take wild thing. If the wild thing wants to become wheel, let it happen. Never forcing. Challenge is fine. Strain. Come on back. Left leg still lifts in the air. You can take your vinyasa, including chin stand or scorpion chin stand if you'd like it. Through to downward facing dog. Rock the head around. You're going to direct the right knee right behind the right wrist. Set up in a one-legged pigeon, but I do want to encourage you to today, if you are feeling it, to wiggle that right foot forward a little bit. So it's like almost a 90-degree angle, even if you've got to get up on extra height, like a block or a bolster, just to see what it's like. You can always opt out of that, but take your time getting balanced through the hips. And ultimately folding it forward, or even sending the left shoulder down so you find a twist. Do what you can do. You can climb on up, taking a twist to the left, hooking the right elbow in this foot. Keep shifting weight toward the left-hand side, hands to heart, spine long as you look behind you. Return to center, sit up tall. Hips are square. Let's bend this left knee again, reach back with left hand, and slowly pull the foot in. I want the quads to open, followed by the left side hip flexors. Stretch into the abdomen and up through the heart. Shoulders back. If mermaid calls or king pigeon calls, you could transfer yourself into one of those shapes. Let's keep this right knee as it is. We're going to twist to the left and point the left toes up. So now you're in like this wide-legged Janu Shirshasana style shape. And keep the legs as they are and then fold forward as though it were wide-legged fold. Let the toes roll in if they want to. Let the seat lift up and get into the groin. Find a place to release if possible. Could even be reaching toward a chair right now. Always making this practice yours, feeling empowered. Where else can you soften? Come on up to sit. You're going to sit and face the left leg, pull the right knee up with you. So just a bit of core work today. So you'll tip yourself back, hover the feet, hands behind your head. And you'll tap left elbow to right outer knee, and then switch. Total of 15. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, belly back, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Come back through center, lie all the way down. Plant the feet nice and close to your sitting bones. And we'll get bridge as a way to stretch the abdomen. So press the heels down, lift through the seat. You can even walk your hands closer to your ankles. Try to squeeze the seat a bit as you lift. Okay, 2 options. One is come out, take rest, come back to bridge. Another is take this right up to your wheel. And come all the way down. Draw the knees into outer ribs, rock side to side. Neck softens. And then rock forward and back. You'll come all the way through to find downward facing dog. Always an option for vinyasa if you'd like it. Send this left knee behind the left wrist. Remember, you might open the angle today by cushioning up. It can really help. Get pretty insistent about your alignment, so you want the hips to really be even. It's worth hanging out in this one upright just to kind of acclimate to it and make sure you're not cheating. And the biggest cheat is to be shifting weight to your left. And make sure a little weight's on the right. If you need to back off, you back off. And eventually tip forward, or maybe even send the right shoulder to the ground so you're in a little bit of a twist. Climb up through center. Take a twist over to the right. Plant this left elbow. Hands together. Spine stays long. Top of the right side hip points down if you can. Can you work the hands into your center heart and gaze behind you? And then use your hands, climb back through the center. If you want more for the back hip flexor, we'll bend this back knee, reach back with right hand. Keep squaring the hips forward and the heart forward. Take some time, let the quads open. And the quads will even release if you allow them to, or if they're willing to. Trace your opening up through the right hip flexor, up through the waist. Find an opening of the heart, the shoulders actively back. Even the back of your neck can drift back. Heart opening. If this wants to become a mermaid, you allow it to happen, or a king pigeon. Tip weight over to your left. Point the right toes up and find this half butterfly shape. We'll fold into the center. Allow the right toes to come in if they want to. Climb yourself up. We'll sit and face this right leg, scoot the left knee up. Okay, a little more core work. Again though, this time you're gonna hover the feet and lie back. So you're gonna be hovering just a little bit closer to earth than you were. Try to lift the blades up off the ground, hug the left knee close to your chest, hands right behind your head. Twist to the left, elbow to the outside of the knee if you can, and then a switch. Keep the belly hugging in. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Lie all the way back, plant your heels. It's going to be the same thing, a bridge. which could become a wheel. Press your hands down, lift your seat. Can you feel the glutes? One option for bridge is get the elbows close, take your fingers out wide, and let your sacrum rest on your own palms. If you're going to take it up to wheel, though, engage through the seat, plant your hands, and climb up. Neck is long. Get out however you get out. And the knees can knock toward each other or rock side to side. Observe as that low back sort of rests. It moves from a kind of intensity to a release. And it's important that we make sure we give it that time and space to actually find its release. Same thing with upper back, whatever you're feeling, wherever you're feeling it. Send your knees to the right, hook right knee to the outside, or right foot to the outside of the left knee. Unhook, knees point left, left foot hooks the right knee, press it down. Unhook, come back through center, and we've made it all the way to our final relaxation. So let's take some time. Spread yourself out. If you have any particular shapes you like to make, definitely make them. One option is to get your calves up onto some blocks so that the heels suspend as well. This gives the legs a total break, sends a signal to the psoas to rest. I'll wake you in a handful of minutes. return to full breathing. Find some movement and stretching. Climb all the way up to sit. Thank you for releasing your tension today. May you keep doing it. May I keep doing it. May we all keep doing it again and again, because we are needed. Be well.